welcome to my channel. I feel like this is going to be like my uniform for the channel because this is my third video. I'm sitting right here knocking all these videos out. This video is going to be about being a mom. Here's my little kitty. Here's one of my little kitties. Here's my little kitty. Being a mom and being a realtor. So if you want to know more information about my experience on being a mom and being a realtor, please stay tuned. Most of the people that I follow and enjoy watching on YouTube, they don't have family. They may be married, but they don't have kids. They don't have, like, you know, kids. They don't have kids. But yeah, my first tip is probably the same tip that I would give to a newbie. You have to maximize your time. You have to maximize your time. So you cannot go around, you can't be busy doing fake work. You really have to put all your effort when you have the time to push into real estate. Of course, everyone's situation is going to be different. Everyone doesn't have the same like babysitter or nanny or, you know, family situation where they can just get up and leave and go. I'm one of those people who don't. I'm married, I do have a husband, and on the weekends he's here, but on the weekdays it's pretty much I have certain times where I have to do showings and certain times where I cannot do showings. And so far that has not gotten in the way of me doing showings probably for anyone. I think one time I made my husband late for work, maybe twice. Don't ask him. Probably just twice. I think just twice. Being a mom and trying to build your real estate business is kind of, it can get overwhelming. A lot of times you probably will be overwhelmed, but I think starting anything new could be overwhelming anyway. To lower your stress, have a few things that you want to get done that day, or really plan out days. Like I have a few times a month where I know I'm going to send out mailers. A few times a month when I know that I'm going to send out a personalized CMA. And I also have to do trainings and stuff like that. So I'm doing all of that. Everything is, try to schedule as much stuff as you can and work around that schedule. Everything is a little bit harder, especially when you have kids. You can't just leave out and do whatever you want to do. And if you have like young kids. So my kids are young. My kids are 8 and under. So I have an 8-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. So I can't leave them home. I can't just roll out and, you know, leave them in the house. Also, a good tip for me is that I've gotten my daughter, my oldest daughter, sometimes I get her involved in what I'm doing. So a lot of times you'll be on the computer and they probably just think, Mom's on the computer all the time, blah, 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 blah. She's working, they know you're working, but to get them, if they're old enough to kind of understand, get them involved and show them what you're doing, show them looking at houses. They may be interested, they may not be interested. I think my kids are kind of half interested. Sometimes when I do previews, I'll bring them. I'll bring the ones that are interested, you know, in going. And because of COVID, they like to go out of the house. No matter where they're going, they just want to get out of the house. So I'll bring them and we'll go look at the houses. I'll do a little tours. They're really, I mean, they're really good about it. They really like it. Mostly, I think, just to get out of the house. Yeah, that's our, like, go to work with mommy kind of day. When I go to the office, I brought them all 3 to the office once so far, and I brought the oldest to the office on her own once before that. So they like going to the office, they like meeting people and, you know, saying hi to everybody and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So the tip here is to try and get your kids involved as much as they want to be involved so they can kind of see what you're doing when you're not like all hands on, you know, being a mom. Like my daughter, she'll help me put stamps on letters, she'll help me put the return address, you know, labels, some simple stuff like that. And it kind of helps you and it kind of helps them see what it is that, you know, what it is that you do. The first time I took my oldest out, she was like, oh, so this is what you do when you're out. So it kind of gives them a glimpse of, you know, what you're doing. So as much as you can, try to get them involved. Another tip is to, while you want to prioritize your family, taking care of your family and doing the things you need to do for yourself and your family, making money is one of those things that you need to do more than likely. Having a great work-life balance is really important. So don't feel bad if you have to do a little more work or pay attention to work a little bit more than you would to make those deals come through or to get that prospecting done or to do some closings. Just make sure that you try your best to balance it all. Yeah, it's gonna get stressful. Yes, it's gonna get overwhelming at certain points, especially when you're new and you're trying to learn and grow at the same time. No matter what stage you're in as far as being a realtor, you're always trying to learn, you're always trying to grow, but in the beginning it's really, really important. You're doing a lot more learning than you probably ever have. The school doesn't prepare you to actually be a realtor, in my opinion. It just kind of prepares you to learn some of the vocabulary and the vernacular and some of the I would say some of the law stuff, being fined, and basically how you can get in trouble, you know, not doing what you're supposed to do, being a realtor. It doesn't really tell you, you don't go over contracts, you don't go over any of that stuff. So another tip is to not beat yourself up. So do the very best you can in real estate and in your home life, but don't beat yourself up. If you have to delegate a few tasks, and some of those tasks could include Instacart or Uber Eats or DoorDash to get stuff done or get the family fed while you're trying to focus on things, don't be afraid. Don't feel bad to do it. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes you just don't have the time, but the kids need to eat. I mean, I could probably go without eating and I'll be fine, but the kids aren't having it. They need snacks. They need meals. They need to get their food in. So being a mom, a lot of us already have to multitask. So I feel like that gives us a little bit of a, you know, leg up. My last tip is to try and be ready to go. Like, try to have things ready to go at a moment's notice. And this is just being a realtor also as well. I cut my hair last year in June, and I cut it really short. I didn't know what to do with it. Being a realtor, you want to always try and look presentable for the most part. But sometimes being a mom, you're kind of stuck in between looking like you're just in the house. You have to go from looking like you're in the house to doing mom duties very quickly to being a professional, you know, well, you're always a professional realtor, you're always a mom, but you want to go from looking like a mom that's just in the house cooking to going out and being a realtor in a moment's notice. So get yourself a few jackets, get yourself a few little things that can make you look not as like you were just doing laundry, you know, 10 minutes ago. I have my hair like this right now because it's easier for me to jump from one mode to the next. I can easily just put on a blazer or slacks or whatever, and I can just go out. I don't have to worry about my hair. I'm just out of here. Some of you may not have that problem, but for me, being quarantined, I was like, I gotta go show a house and I look crazy. Doing styles like this, and yes, I do it myself because it also saves money. Also, saving money is important. When you're starting out, you do have to put some money into it. It costs to do mailers. If you're gonna pay for leads, which I don't really know how I feel about paying for leads anymore. I have done it. I wouldn't recommend it. But if that's what you're gonna do, paying for leads, that's gonna cost money. So anything you make, please go ahead and save it. That way your real estate expenses in the beginning don't get too out of control and too crazy for you not to be able to afford it, and then you just say, forget it, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. Yeah, so those are my little tips to give you moms out there who are looking to start a job in real estate. A little bit of a push. It's possible. You can do it. It's not easy. It's not easy being a realtor. It's not easy being a mom. None of it's easy, but go out there, do the best you can. I say go ahead and start taking the classes. Once you take the classes, I think you have maybe a year to get to take the test. I forget. I can look it up or message me if you really want to know. You have quite a bit of time to take the test. After you take the test, you have quite a bit of time to go ahead and get licensed. Getting licensed is where the big fees come in. My class costs maybe like $200 or so. I'll just say $300 with the books or, you know, stuff like that. It'll cost you maybe like $300. The test is about $60 or $65 when you take it. So those fees aren't as high, but when you start and you get licensed, that is when the real fees come in. So go ahead and I would say go ahead and do it. Take your time. If you're really not sure, I would say start learning what you can. Start reading the books. Practice being a realtor. So go out on the weekends. You don't have to be licensed to do this. Go out on the weekends. Go drive to some homes. Look at some homes that are for sale on the market. Just practice and put yourself in that mode of being a realtor. You can talk to a few brokers. You can, a lot of times people pick out their broker before they even get licensed, before they even start classes. They'll go and talk to a broker. So you can go and talk to a broker that you might be interested in. Go out on the weekends and go drive to some homes, see how long it takes you, see if you have the time. Just maybe do it for, you know, a week. Like, just do a good week. Of course, you don't know everything that's involved in being a realtor. You can kind of get a glimpse in some of my day in the life of a realtor to see what's going on behind the scenes, and you know, the parts that's not so glamorous, some of the administrative stuff you have to do, you know, being a realtor and trying to get that business and grow your business. So it won't be exact, but just try and do the best you can at carving out time to do that. Taking a class alone, studying for the class, and being in the class will also give you a good idea of whether or not you'll have the time to really allocate to do it at all, or you can wake up before your kids to get some things done, to have some peace and quiet in the house. A lot of times I end up staying up late to do that, but I want to start kind of doing the opposite and going to bed earlier and waking up, going to bed earlier and waking up earlier, but it always doesn't happen like that. So do your best out there. Those are some words of encouragement and some tips for you guys, for you ladies or for you dads out there who are looking into getting into real estate, but you already have a family and you don't know if it's possible or not, especially when you see a lot of these newly licensed folks. They're out there getting it, and you know, it's hard for them and they don't even have a family. It's just as hard, and it could be harder, but you got this. You got this. You can do it. We can do this. We can do this. It is possible. You got to start somewhere. So just get started. All right, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.